It is our constitutional culture, or rather requirement, for the civil servants to keep off politics, especially the fragile security sector, that the last time security officers meddled with Kenyan politics, ICC came knocking in the door. Welcome to the Bold Analysis, and thank you very much for watching our podcast. We try to keep it the most informative. We move forward. There is a worrying trend to see civil servants seeking political guard to escape accountability. The ICC letter that Azimio wrote, to ICC, calling for interrogation or the probing on the events happening in the country, unsettled UDA. And while Ruto camp seems to be silent over the matter, including even Musalia Mudavadi, Rigathi has come out as the man to respond to everything, in a clear signal that the ICC vector is pointing at his office. I don't know whether he's seeing this or rather it is there just an observation I'm making. But I want to tell you why that vector is pointing at him and what's the risk with that. The debate is very sensitive about ICC, and the last time Kinoti tried to revive some post-election violence cases after engaging some people in Eldoret, Ruto refused. I don't understand, and I'm not getting it, why Koome, Inspector General Koome, is saying that Azimio la Umoja are targeting him by that letter, knowing very well that that letter was addressing the office holder, the office of the IG. And whether it will be a Meru, a Luo, or a Mijikenda, or a Kalenjin, I don't think Azimio would have hesitated to write that letter. I am simply not getting it. And so, I want us to look at how blindly Ruto, Rigathi is not seeing, but Ruto is pointing that vector on his side. Before that, I want to start by first urging you that we are going on with our fundraiser, the 50 shillings challenge, to support Mercy to be released from hospital. A young couple I interviewed here, they're struggling. There was delivery and then complications of bleeding, a tear that led to excessive bleeding. And so she was treated, but the bill ballooned to 80,000. So the husband is also grounded home. I know those who have been asking to make it a little bit more elaborate. We are targeting 80,000 to help release the lady, the wife, from the hospital. Then another 30,000 to help the husband acquire a motorbike, probably on loan. Then after acquiring it, he'll be paying pole. So we are pushing this towards the end of this week, and you can donate what you have. Asanteni sana for those who are supporting us. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much for doing it. I pinned the number there. And so, I was getting this report that because of letters, there's no letter, is not the first ICC letter emerging. There was a letter that was written by even UDA side in the run-up to last general election. They wrote a letter to ICC, and after their power, Raila Odinga team also writing a letter. In the light of this, I understand the court is so keen on the developments of the country and have dispatched their observers to track political developments and activities going on here, even though this is highly linked to the Sudan skirmishes, because they also know that quite some people will also seek refuge in other East African countries. And so that's why they are taking keen interest. But the Rigathi team seems not to be looking at the bigger picture. Listen to IG Koome talking to us about this factor.
The general ameambiwa atapelekwa mahali fulani. Kunaye mwanasiasa ndiye anachochea maneno, na sijui kwa nini. Mara ya kwanza alianza na Mumeru mwenzangu anaitwa Mudhaura, akasema aende huko, ameenda kwa Koome. Sijui Wameru wamefanya nini. Sasa imeanza kuwa ni mambo ya ukabila. Wameru wanarengwa, but we shall not be intimidated. Kazi yetu tutafanya. Wanasiasa wafanye siasa. Mimi si mwanasiasa, sifahamu siasa. I'm a policeman na jukumu langu naelewa vizuri. Kwa hivyo mambo ya kugawanya watu kwa kikabila, ati huyu ni Mwamero alengwe, huyu ni nani alengwe, hatutatishwa. Niko na marafiki wengi kutoka kabila zote.
I am finding this tribal narrative very simplistic and ill-advised. It's shallow and ill-advised. I don't think Kenyans, one of the grounds, competencies of picking Koome for that position was the fact that he comes from Meru. Even though we understand that politically that also had to be done, but that's not it. So Kenyans cannot ask questions of accountability, because if you ask it, someone will fall back to the tribal card and play the homeboy mentality. I don't think that's good. And so, a question, we are deploying police officers to quell, or rather to quell violence. When we are deploying, you find a situation where two from other tribes maybe are sent in some areas, fragmentation of that. But then, is it about the tribe? If the police boss is saying that, now how about the other junior officers? So when they're being sent out, they're also being targeted. I think we are profiling this issue not in the right manner. And I want to challenge you. Since this letter emerged, can you find out, just go and Google, find out leaders in UDA that are commenting about the matter, that being Rigathi Gachagua. And blindly, I've got these two clips. One saying the way Monday will be, I don't know, the end of Azimio. That when there was a speech in Kakamega, a day to that mass action that was called, and he seems to be enjoying this matter. He's the one talking about ICC and also defending the police post. Now, I wanted to get that here.
Andy, the government of the Republic of Kenya will assert its authority in protecting life and property and upholding the rule of law. I'm just giving that caution to those young people. Na mimi naona they are trying to intimidate the Inspector General of Police, Japhet Koome. I want to assure the IG, continue doing your work. You are a very professional IG doing your work professionally. All you did is to protect life and property. Had they not come to the streets, there would have been no issue between the police and the demonstrators.
If you listen to those clips, if you are to be dispatched as an investigator to investigate things around it, and remember, the wordings are very important. Because some of the people, if you look at the last time there were these charges, it bordered that. Clearly, who would you go for? And if things were to go south on that Monday, before that, if that mandamano will not be called off, and things go south, so ICC comes and say, yes, we want to find out, who do you start with? Even if you want to start interviewing, then trying to probe leaders, who do you start probing? We need to get this right. And DP is not, the truthful man is not the first deputy president. I think you need to learn from the past deputy president. I don't know who was the DP when Mwai came back in 2007. If memory serves me right, probably it was still Mudi Awori. Now, do you know Mudi Awori was never implicated in ICC? But the head of civil service, public service, Francis Mudhaura, name appeared. He was more reserved. Those who are out of the question never commented. And this thing is about investigations that can be done. Politicians forget very fast. And I think UDA, then maybe it's not about forgetting, but it's about just making political statements for the sake of it. What we are seeing borders using police to play politics. Call it what it is. Yes, that's it. Call it what it is. But if my memory serves me right, President Ruto, you said never again.
Police officer in Kenya that they must serve professionally in accordance with the law and the constitution, and nobody should blackmail or intimidate them to run political errands or political agendas for anybody.
Yes, he said, never again shall we use the police to settle politics because we have enough people to do politics here. Let me remind you of a very small story, and this is something that you need to acquaint yourself with. Major General Hussein Ali, who was the police commander in 2007, the brigadier came to military in 1977 and had really served in military for quite long until he was deployed at the Vigilance House to spearhead police reforms and curb the violence that was in the country before, now trying to just steady the security of the nation. Then in 2007, he found himself in a situation where he had to make sure that brings peace. But at the end of the investigation, ICC brought his name in the fold. And before acquittal, he was accused of responding with brutal force and when committing crime and committed a crime in the process of quelling violence. He was not on the fold. Since 2007, his career that was in 2010, he lost the police job, military career ended, and there was an attempt for him to be named IG, which did not go through. Then he was in postal corporation until he retired in 2020. So that's how he disappeared. But there is something you need to look at. When he was facing those charges, he was himself. If you look at the people there, if you look at the ICC list of 2010, the Ocampo list, I want you to look at it. William Ruto was agriculture minister. By the time maybe 2007 happened, he was just an MP. Uhuru Kenyatta was named when I think he was also an MP by then. He was an MP on the other side, and I think was supporting Mwai Kibaki. William Ruto was with Raila Odinga, this side, those are two. Henry Kosgei, a man was like very far from it, was alone. Police boss, and the other one was, who was this? Mudhaura. These people are not related. Not that someone will go and pick president, his deputy, and national. No, it's normally a personal responsibility. I think someone needs to get that. It's normally a personal responsibility. It's not about you gave orders, so if I'm going to take Rigathi, Ruto, police. No, it's a personal responsibility. Look at the journalist, son. So you need to be very careful with this. The danger of vector pointing at Rigathi is partially also his own making, because too many blunders. It's thriving in two things. Dalliance with the security sector. He brags as a man who, and not only brags, of course, he has those accolades of rising as in the security sector. So he has a very close relationship with them and wants to assert his authority there. And number two, he also wants to play the victim card like Uhuru Kenyatta. Something that thrusted Uhuru Kenyatta to the helm of leadership in Mount Kenya. So there are many things that are happening. But William Ruto will want to hear little of ICC. Take that to bank. I think he has kept so silence, totally silence about it. President Ruto is not Uhuru Kenyatta. He's a man who comes out to comment. But on this one, he has kept a very low profile and is not making any statement about it. He's worried about it because, and doesn't want to drag his name into it because it smears his reputation at the international stage. And remember, he's struggling with that reputation. The leakages of I don't trust you by a UN body just tells it all. So it smears his reputation. He's coming to power, and it's only in Kenya where we forget. But there are countries, newsrooms, when you walk, international newsrooms, when you walk, and when they are writing stories about William Ruto, they still drag articles that they wrote when he was in ICC. So you would not want to come with it, and of course, that would also smear his campaign, even locally. The ICC issue came with a baggage because some witnesses died, a church was burned in Eldoret, people were displaced, and some of those problems have never been solved. The Agenda 4 has never been solved. So he doesn't want to look at that. But again, the second issue why this is a factor he's avoiding like a plague is it triggers civil society organizations opposing the state. When this discussion is here that we are going after ICC, we are going after this, it's an environment that civil society thrives. We are protesting, we are protesting the arrest, we are this, we are that, and it fuels the political activities in the country, something that President Ruto will not envision now. Take it to bank in Boralon. Why it not for Uhuru Kenyatta? I think unaweza sahau mtu, but Uhuru Kenyatta played a role in making sure that Ruto got his way. So it also drags Uhuru's significance in it. Yeah, by that time, I think these things don't just happen. Dropping cases is not a child's play. Of course, there is a lot of influence, infiltration, and even bribery in it. High-profile bribery. For that to have been done, Ruto came to power in 2013. I don't think he had the resources. It was Uhuru Kenyatta and his proxies. Now, this will push Azimio to action, and you never know how that can turn out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my bold. Let's meet in the next, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm leaving you with the interview. We agreed that I'll be sharing it every video for this week. The interview with the gentleman that we are trying to do a fundraiser for. So kindly, may you be blessed. Let's meet in the next video. Stephen, you told me that your wife has a challenge. It's not someone. It's someone detained in the hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you take us through what exactly happened, or where did it start?
Okay, this started after my wife gave birth at Pumwani Hospital.
Date?
On date 20th February. So after she gave birth, mtoto alikuwa nursery after 5 days. So after 5 days from nursery, we went back home. We were just home, things were well. After some few weeks, then wife got complications. Alianza kubleed, mysteriously bleeding, and I was shocked. Ran out to call the doctor, and the doctor told me to bring the lady in the hospital.
Wapi? Unaishi wapi?
Okay, naishi Dandora.
Okay.
Phase 5.
Okay.
So daktari alijaribu, akashindwa. The lady was seriously bleeding. Akaniambia nitafute taxi to rush mgonjwa Kenyatta. Nikafanya hivyo, tukafika Kenyatta. Wakati nilifika Kenyatta, mama alikuwa admitted. Na from hapo, so
alikuwa admitted sasa Kenyatta.
Alikuwa admitted Kenyatta hospital.
Na wakati alikuwa admitted, the child now, but the child,
okay,
the child is fine?
By the time...
But then this is the child.
Yeah.
And
this is my baby.
This is your baby. And
yeah.
Ni baby boy and
baby boy. To Jason.
Oh, good. Even my son was born in February. So now, where are you from first?
Okay, right now I'm from the Kenyatta Hospital. Nilipeleka mtoto kunyonya, and that is how I always do it. Nampeleka, ananyonya, namrudisha kwa nyumba.
Unampeleka kila siku?
Daily.
In the morning, ama unakana the whole day?
No. Nampeleka in the evening. In the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then sasa sasa ukitoka unaenda tu mnalala.
Sasa nikitoka naenda kwa nyumba. So nikiwa pale kwa nyumba, mtoto ana survive na maziwa ya kuchemsha. Nachemsha, naongeza maji kidogo. And that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You've really impressed me. How about the child? Yeah, alikuwa sawa hata wakitoka pumwani?
Okay, mtoto wakati tulikuwa tunatoka pumwani, mtoto since alikunywa ile amniotic fluid, ile uchafu, so mtoto amekuwa na shida hiyo ya kungorota, anangorota. Ni kama anafungana hewa.
Okay.
So doctors gave me some medicine, ile ya kudrop kwa mapua wakati anatoa hiyo sauti. So hiyo ndo nimekuwa nikitumia, but still at times nasikia anatoa hiyo sauti kama
hata sasa nasikia na
hata sasa. Yeah.
What did the doctors in Kenyatta say was the problem?
Doctors in Kenyatta waliniambia mama wakati alizaa kuna vile mtoto alimrarua, they got a tear. So walimshona, alienda theater wakamshona.
Na alizaa normal?
Alizaa normal.
Na tear. Okay. So, anafaa show me or something. Okay.
Yeah.
We may not understand because we don't have a lady here.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was what was bringing the complication about the bleeding.
Yeah.
Guys, I was told this, and I really got touched by his story, Stephen's story. You know, when he was telling me you were in Kenyatta, and I was like, okay, what's going on? So it's been there for how many days?
Since date second.
Date second.
Yeah.
The bill is
80,000.
80,000.
Yeah.
Wow. But then now that you take care every evening, when do you go to work now? Do you even go to work now that?
No. Okay. About my work, I'm a bodaboda rider. Na pikipiki naendesha ni ya mtu na ni ya loan. So wakati nilikuwa na hii shida, pikipiki ilibidi tu iendelee kufanya kazi sababu inalipwa daily. So mwenyewe alichukua na alitafuta mwingine aendelee.
Oh, so what you normally your work is kuendesha boda?
Yes.
So because of this, that is you can. But then how do you survive? Okay, you should not ask that. So should get what is the terms of the loan? How much do you pay to get a pikipiki and loan so that you pay boda maybe?
Okay, for now, loan walipandisha deposit. Kwa saa hii deposit ni 25,000.
Okay. Then so if you get 25,000,
yes,
you go and pay, and you're given a motorbike on loan.
Yeah.
Then you pay is the rest in installments.
Yeah.
Which you can manage.
I can manage to get 500 per day.
You unapata endesha around Dandora.
Yeah.
Wow. Guys, I brought Stephen here because I wanted us to get feel of this story, and this is one we can do this. We've always done this. This is 80,000. Today's date 14. If you give yourself 1 week, Friday. Yeah, so let's try. Let's do a 50 shillings challenge. I've decided not to. I'm going to share the number, nobody's number, because of a bit of that disturbance, but I am also asking those who can be willing to reach out to me. My number is there. I'll directly connect you with him so that whichever God has blessed you with, at least I talk. So Mama amekaa hospitali for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you guys are young couples, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, and may God bless you for being a father to this child. I know it's really touching. It's really touching the heart, and I believe that as Bold family, this will come to an end. I know we will find a way. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Sawa. Asante. Aya.